Hi my dear students, welcome back to my channel. So in today's session I'm discussing the most frequently asked and the most important questions from the lesson life process. So ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಲೈಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ 5 marks allot ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಕೆಲವು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಡೌಟ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಬೋತ್ ದ CBSE ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ. ಈ CBSE ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಎರಡಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ NCERT ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಅನ್ನೇ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸೊ ಇದ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳುವಂತ ರೀತಿ ಬೇರೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಸೇಮ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ದ ವೇ ಆಫ್ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ CBSE ಬೋರ್ಡ್ಗೆ ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ 9 marks ಅಲಾಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, CBSE ಬೋರ್ಡ್ಗೆ ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ 9 marks ಅನ್ನ ಅಲಾಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲೈಫ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ಗೆ 5 marks ನ ಅಲಾಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಬ್ಲೂ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಇದೆರಡು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್ ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ ಸೇಮ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಐ ವುಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲಾರಿಫೈ ದಿಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಬೈ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಐ ವುಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಟು ಸೇ good morning to each and everyone who are present in today's class. So it's very important session my dear students. Actually I wanted to complete this session yesterday. Nenne ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. So due to certain reason I could not take up the class in the night. So I'm back with the same the concept which I would like to explain in the previous class. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿನ್ನೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಏನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಈಗ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ನಿಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತೇನೆ. ಓಕೆ ಫೈನ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಟೈಮ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ, ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೊಂದು ಟೈಮ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ, ಟೆಲಿಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ಬೇರೆ ಲೆಸನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ನಿನ್ನೆ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್, ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಸಮ್ ರೀಸನ್ಸ್ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ಬೇರೆ ಲೆಸನ್ಸ್ ನ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಐ ಕೆನ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೋ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ನಾನು ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ ಲೆಸನ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದೆನ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆಸನ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೀಸನ್. ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತು ಆಫ್ಟರ್ನೂನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ನಾಳೆ 2 ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ನ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ದ ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ವೆರಿ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ. ನಾವು ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ಬೇಗ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಟರಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್. So another 1 week is left for the state preparatory examination. I hope you all are preparing well. Yes. Okay, my dear students. So without wasting much time, let's get started the class. So let us look at the first question. So ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಕ್ಲಾರಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಎರಡು ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ CBSE ಈ ಎರಡು ಬೋರ್ಡ್ಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಒಂದು ನಾನು ಏನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಎಸ್, let us look at the first question. So 2023 crash course ಇದಾಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಕ್ರಾಶ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಡೂ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ದ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬ್ಸಲ್ಯೂಟ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ಫ್ರೀ. ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಫೈನ್, ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ 2020 ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್. 2020 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದಂತ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್, ಸಿ ದ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದ ಬೈಲ್ ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಟು ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್ for the efficient digestion of the human. Explain or justify ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟು ನೋ. ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ HCl ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸ್ಟಮಕ್ ಆರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೈಲ್ ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಲಿವರ್. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗೆ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತೀರಾ. ಬಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಏನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬೈಲ್ ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಎರಡೂ ಕೂಡ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಟು ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್. ಹೇಗೆ, ಹೌ ಆರ್ ದೇ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಟು ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. HCl ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್, ಸಿ ದಿಸ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಕ್ಲೋರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸ್ಟಮಕ್, ಇಟ್ ಮೇಕ್ಸ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಟು ಟರ್ನ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಅಸಿಡಿಕ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಫುಡ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಸಿಡಿಕ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂಗೆ ಟರ್ನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಬೈ ದ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಕ್ಲೋರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಟರ್ನ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಅಸಿಡಿಕ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. So acidic medium ಗೆ ಟರ್ನ್ ಆದಾಗ ಫುಡ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, so that will activate the enzyme called pepsin. This is the one thing you have to write. Secondly, the food coming from the stomach, now what happened, the food now has turned into acidic medium in the stomach by the action of HCl. This food now what happened after performing some activity, it will go for the next area. So which is the next area? Small intestine is the next area. Correct now. So the food which is coming from the stomach will be in the acidic medium. Now it is in the acidic medium, right? So when it comes to small intestine, it has to turn into alkaline medium, students, because complete food digest agbekandre the food has to be the alkaline medium. What is alkaline? Alkaline andre base anta artha, right? Alkaline andre base. See, artha ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So food has to be made to what? Alkaline medium. How this is possible anta ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, this is possible by the action of pancreatic enzymes which acted on it. ಸೊ ನಿನ್ನೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಪ್ಯಾನ್ಕ್ರಿಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಎಂಜೈಮ್ಸ್ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ್ದು ಅಂತಂತ. ಸೊ ಲಿಪೇಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಮೈಲೇಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಟ್ರಿಪ್ಸಿನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಟ್ರಿಪ್ಸಿನ್, ಅಮೈಲೇಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಲಿಪೇಸ್ ಇದು ಮೂರು ಕೂಡ ಪ್ಯಾನ್ಕ್ರಿಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಎಂಜೈಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಈ ಮೂರು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಬೈಲ್ ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. ಈ ಬೈಲ್ ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಪ್ಯಾನ್ಕ್ರಿಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಎಂಜೈಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿಂಗ್ ದ alkaline medium for the food to turn into alkaline. Acidic ಆಗಿರುವಂತ food alkaline ಆಗಿ turn ಆಗಬೇಕು. So bile juice is also acting upon it. Along with this, what happens? It is also helping emulsifying the fats. ಅಂದ್ರೆ it is helping for breaking down the large fat globules into the smaller fat globules ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Clear, right? So very important. ಈ bile juice ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? Alkaline medium ಗೆ food ನ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. So thus ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? Action of gastric juice and bile juice ಎರಡು ಕೂಡ they both are working for the digestion of food. They both are working for the digestion of food. It is very important. Clear? So you must know about this. So action of bile juice and pancreatic enzyme ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ you have to write. Fine, my students. I think you have understood this concept. ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. Clear? Are you clear with this concept? You are writing action of gastric juice and bile juice, how they are, complementary to each other in the digestion process. That means how are they helping in the digestion of the food anta ನೀವು ಬರಿತೀರಾ. Clear, right? Yes. Let's now go for the next question. The next question. So the next question they are asking here is the organisms ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Organism they have given organism A and organism B, and forms of food they have stored, they have given is glycogen and starch. Forms of food they have given is glycogen and starch. Okay, so organism A ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, glycogen ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, starch ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. What is the question? The forms of the food stored in the body of two organisms, that is A and also B, are given in the above table. Clarify them as autotrophs and heterotrophs. Is the reason ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Dear students, ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಅನ್ನ ಎವ್ರಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಬಂದೆ, ರೈಟ್? The excess of food which is stored in the form of glycogen, we can see this in the human beings, or we can say animals. Animals na body nalli ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. In the case of plants, what happened? The extra food is stored in the form of starch ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೀನಿ. The extra food that is stored in the plants will be in the form of starch, whereas the extra food which is stored in the animals will be in the form of glycogen. So now, which is organism A, which is organism B ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. So organism B is what? Organism B is what? And organism A is what ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Organism A ಏನಾಗಿದೆ? This is heterotroph ಅಲ್ವಾ? So ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. The organism A is heterotroph. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ they are depending on others for their food. Whereas organism B ಏನಾಗಿದೆ? It is autotroph because it manufactures its own food. Okay? So you have to remember, so where the food is stored in the form of glycogen and in which section the food is stored in the form of starch. ಇದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. Very very clear. Okay? Let's now go for next question. So ಈ ನಾನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ 2020 ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿರುವಂತ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. Let's go for another question. ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಲೈಫ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್. ಹೇಗೆ ಲೇಬಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ. ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ಟೈನ್ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲೇಬಲಿಂಗ್ ನ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ, ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಲೇಬಲಿಂಗ್ ನ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಲೇಬಲಿಂಗ್ ನ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟು ನೋ. ಇದು ಏನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಡ್ರಾ ಎ ನೀಟ್ ಲೇಬಲ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ showing the cross section of the human heart, label the following parts ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. What is the first part they are asking? Wall that separates oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. So ಯಾವ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನೇಟೆಡ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಡಿಆಕ್ಸಿಜನೇಟೆಡ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ನ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ septum. Okay, this is the wall. This is the wall which is separating the oxygenated and also the deoxygenated blood. And other part they have asked is the pulmonary artery. Most of the students ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ these two ಈ ಎರಡೂರ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದು PA ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಪಲ್ಮನರಿ ಆರ್ಟರಿ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಮ್ PV ಪಲ್ಮನರಿ ವೇನ್. ಸೊ ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಪಲ್ಮನರಿ ವೇನ್ಸ್ ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತೀರಾ. ದಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಡನ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಬರೆಯೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ 4 or 3 marks ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. First learn the human heart diagram. It's very important. Okay. So most of the students have not joined for the live. So I think yes, as I have joined, I started a class today. I think this is happening. Okay, I'm just yes informing other students also to join so that they also understand the questions that may be asked in the examination. So let's go for the next question, children. So the next question is, small intestine of tiger is shorter when compared to small intestine of cows. ನೀವು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದಿರಾ, ನಾನು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಎವ್ರಿ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಬಂದೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ಸೆಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಗರ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಕಾರ್ನಿವೋರ್. Tiger is a carnivore, right? So small intestine of carnivore is shorter when compared to the small intestine of cows. What are cows? They are the herbivore. Correct na? So give reason anta kelta idare. So 2020 preparatory exam alli keliruvanta question idu. Yake andre see, because tigers eat only the meat and flesh. Okay? And this meat and flesh can be easily digested. Okay? It can be easily digested, and it is also in a short period it will be easily digested. Whereas the cows, being herbivore, they completely depend on the plant products. That means they eat grass. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, plant products na consume ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. So plant products ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ plant products contain cellulose, my dear students. Plant products contains the cellulose. Cellulose ಇರುತ್ತೆ plant products ನಲ್ಲಿ. So for the digestion of cellulose, these the herbivorous animals need the longer time. That is the reason what happened. They keep the food in their smaller intestine for longer time. Okay. Hence, their small intestine is longer in size. It's very clear. Okay. So, main agi ni ben baribeku andre, herbivore animals, they depend on the plant products, and the plant products contain the cellulose. And for the digestion of cellulose, it needs more time anta baribeku. Okay. So, as a result of it, enagutte, small intestine is the larger in the herbivore. That means the cows or maybe the goats compared to the carnivorous animals. Okay. So I think you all are very clear. So let's go for the next question. Now the next question ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, let us look at. So the next question is, how is the oxygen and carbon dioxide transported in the human body? How is oxygen and carbon dioxide is transported in the human body? Very important. See, this is asked in the 2020 preparatory examination. So the oxygen and carbon dioxide is transported in the human body by the following ways anta baribeku first. So yen baritira, see, the oxygen enters into the blood from where? From the lungs. Yesterday I was explaining from alveoli present in the lungs, correct? So from the lungs, and the carbon dioxide is expelled out from the blood into the lungs. The lungs are the region, and in this region what happened? Both the oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood come and meet here. Okay. So that means in the alveoli ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, the carbon dioxide from entire body will come and expel here, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೊರ ಹಾಕುತ್ತೆ, and similarly the oxygen which we have taken here will enter into the alveoli. So what happened? Exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place. Exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place. Very important. So the blood is responsible for what? It is responsible for transportation of gases. And here the oxygen is carried by the blood and it is transported into the cells. Okay. And carbon dioxide is also carried away from the cells. It is just that you have to write the functions of the alveoli. Alveoli ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೀವು mention ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. Clear? So where does exactly the carbon dioxide and oxygen get exchanged? First important, ನೀವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ first importance ನೀವು ಆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಬರೀಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಏನ್ ಬರೀತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, how is this getting transported? Transporting medium ಯಾವುದು? Blood is the one, the fluid transporting system which is present in our body. ಎಲ್ಲಾ materials blood carry ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ you will write this. Blood is responsible for transportation of the gases. So blood ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? Cells. Okay. So oxygen is carried by the blood to all the parts of the body, and carbon dioxide is carried back from all the parts of the body back to the lungs. Okay, so clear, this concept is very easy, my dear students. Let's go for next question. So I think today is Virat's birthday, I think, right? So let's wish him happy birthday, Virat. So somebody is waiting for him also. Yes. Let's go for next question. So next question they have asked is, explain briefly the function of the nephron in the human excretory system. Okay. So you have to write the functions of the nephron in the human excretory system. So what actually does nephron does? The nephron is basically the structural and the functional unit of kidney, right? So do not get confused between the neuron and nephron. The neuron is the structural and the functional unit of the nervous system. Wherein when I talk about the nephron, it is the structural and the functional unit of the kidney. Okay, so they both are different. What is the main function you have to ask, right? The main function of this nephron, they convert the blood into urine. That means they filter the nitrogenous waste from the blood and they receive the urine. Okay, so what actually happens here? This happens, the steps followed in the nephron are, one is the filtration, reabsorption, secretion, and also the excretion of the urine, which takes place in the excretory system. It's two steps of follow agutte. Filtration alli nanu nimge explain madide nenne class alli glomerular filtration. So enagutte, the blood forcefully enter into the glomerulus where the filtration takes place, and from the glomerulus what happened, again the blood enter to the Bowman's capsule. Later in the Henle's loop, that means the U-shaped the structure, in this region what happened, the reabsorption of the blood takes place. As a result of it enagutte, amino acids, salts, ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತ water ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, they get reabsorbed, and finally ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, urine secrete ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Secrete ಆಗಿರುವಂತ urine will be carried to ureters and to urinary bladder and will be excreted by the urethra. So this is what I have explained. This is what I have been explained in the previous class. Yes. Next, okay, and you must know the function of nephron, children. Very important. Diagram kuda keluvanta chances irutte ee varshada exam alli. Ee varshada exam alli diagram kuduva keluvanta chances irutte. It's very important. Yes, let's go for the next question. Let's go for the next question. The next question is, write the three events. Nodi nanu ಏನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ exam ಅದೆಲ್ಲ previous year exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. This is also they have asked in 2020 preparatory examination. So let's now go for next question. Very important question. ಇದು ನೋಡಿ 2020 preparatory examination ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, 2022 preparatory exam ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, and final board exam ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ question ಅನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. Events occur during photosynthesis. Very frequently asked question. Okay, first ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, absorption of light energy takes place. The absorption of light energy takes place, and the light energy which gets absorbed, what happened, will get converted into chemical energy, and this chemical energy afterwards what happened in this, they help in splitting the water molecules. So water molecules irutte alva, so ನೀವು observe ಮಾಡಬಹುದು equation ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, see there is water molecules in the reactant side. This water molecules get splitted into hydrogen and oxygen, clear, and carbon dioxide which is present in the reactant side, which is a raw material, will they get reduced into carbohydrates. So it's very important to know what are the important process that takes place during the events occur during the photosynthesis. But frequently they have asked this question in the examination. Very frequently they have asked in the examination. Okay, it's clear that what are the events that take place during the photosynthesis. Very frequently asked. I also explained this in the the content session. Andre explain ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾನು already ನಿಮಗೆ explain ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. So again in 2000 let's go for next question. In 2022 model paper and 2019 model paper, they've asked the diagram of nephron, children. So learn how to write nephron diagram kuda nanu helkottidini hege baribeku. Okay, so this will be asked definitely for 3 marks. Okay, so it's important to learn nephron diagram also. Do not skip this. So next, in 2022 model paper, they have asked about the flow chart. So here they have asked how to write the breakdown of glucose by the various pathways. See here, children, nimge various question kelbodu. It is not that they are only asking this, the breaking of glucose. They can also ask what are the products released during the aerobic respiration, What are the products released during the anaerobic respiration? And I can also ask, name the products released when a person is suffering from a muscle catch. Okay, ಈ ರೀತಿ ವೆರೈಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಈ ಸೆಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ನ ಪಾತ್ವೇ ಕೇಳ್ತಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್. ಈ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಇಸ್ C6H12O6. C6H12O6 is glucose, and when this glucose enter into the cytoplasm, where is cytoplasm? Cytoplasm is present in every cell of a living organism. So ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, this is entering to the cytoplasm. When this enter to the cytoplasm, what happens? 6 carbon molecule will break down into the 3 carbon molecule. So you can observe here, it is now breaking up into the 3 carbon molecule, and this 3 carbon molecule is now called as pyruvate. What is it called as? It is called as pyruvate. And e pyruvate ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, in the presence of oxygen. So in the presence of oxygen, say we say in case of mitochondria, the presence of oxygen and the ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, this is mitochondria, right? See, in case of mitochondria, this is resulting in the formation of carbon dioxide, water and energy. Okay, so mitochondria andre we always have to talk about the living organism. Then in case of the lack of oxygen, so when you do some physical exercise, what happen, you cannot take the oxygen properly. So anta time alli enagutte, lack of oxygen, so it causes in the muscle cells, during that time lactic acid and energy is released, and in the absence of oxygen, what happen, phenol, carbon dioxide and energy is released. Okay, and this is performed in the yeast. So 3 mark ಎಷ್ಟು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ನೀವು ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, it's very easy to learn this concept. So do learn this concept called schematic representation of the breakdown of glucose into pyruvate. Definitely this will help you. Yes. See next, this question children, they have given some easy question, but ಇದನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ನೀವು. Diagrams given below represents the heart of the different animals. See, this is 2-chambered heart, 1 and 2-chambered heart. This is 4-chambered heart, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-chambered heart. Whereas this is 3-chambered heart, 1, 2, 3-chambered heart. Okay, so now among these, which heart is useful for the animals that require more energy? And the 2019 public exam alli kelidare. Which heart is responsible for the animals which require more energy anta kelidare. See, in the case of the animals which require more energy, the heart has to get heart anta helodikina, the blood has to be separated children. Okay, the oxygenated and the deoxygenated blood the blood has to get separated. Okay, if that has to get separated, what happened, definitely the one should have the 4-chambered heart. So this is very important to know, the 4-chambered heart, that is the, you're going to write answer like this in examination. The heart is showing in the figure number 2 is helpful for the animals that required more energy, because what is happening here, this is because the 4-chambered heart keeps oxygenated, that means it keeps separating the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Okay, so it does not allow the mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Oxygenated ಮತ್ತೆ deoxygenated blood ಅನ್ನ mix up ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಒಂದು heart allow ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. That is very importantly you have to understand. Is it clear? So very importantly you want to understand is to supply the efficient supply of oxygen to all the parts of the body in an organism. So the 4-chambered heart is very important for an organism. Clear ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? So are you clear with this children? So ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಯು ನೋ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್, ರೈಟ್? Okay, let's go for next question. So the approximate length of a small intestine and of an animal X and the Y are given in the table. ನೋಡಿ, related to intestine ತುಂಬಾ frequent ಆಗಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. The question related to intestine frequently they have asked. Okay, so they have given length of the small intestine of animal X. This is the X animal and also Y animal. The length they have given. See, the X animals, the intestine length is 20 to 40 feet. The Y animals, the intestine length is only 5 to 8 feet. So which is having the longer intestine here? The animal X is having the longer small intestine. The question is, identify the herbivore and carnivore. Very clearly I told you that the animals which is called as herbivore will be having the longer small intestine compared to the animal which is called as carnivore. Correct, right? See, this is very clear that, see, this small intestine which is compared to the Y animal is longer, So then this is considered as a herbivore animal. Why anta kelta idare? It is because the herbivorous animals need to digest the cellulose. Already in the previous question also I told you, it's very importantly, clearly you can understand. Very important. See, you must know, based on the intestine, they're asking the different variety of questions. Based on the intestine, they're asking variety of questions. Sometimes they ask to find out the herbivore and carnivore. Sometimes they ask why it is important that herbivore have the smaller long intestine. Very basically what you have to remember here is, firstly we have to identify. I think in ಎಲ್ಲರೂ identify ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. The X animal is considered as herbivore because its length of the small intestine is longer compared to the Y animal. And what is the importance of having the small intestine, that is longer small intestine? Because they depend on the plant products, and plant products contains the cellulose. So for the digestion of cellulose, these organisms need longer time. Hence, their small intestine is lengthier compared to the carnivorous animals. That's it. Very simple answer. So I hope you clearly understood this. So again, when we go for next, in the 2019 model paper, they've asked about the breathing cycle of the human beings. They've asked about the breathing cycle of the human being. So when I say breathing, in previous class also I told you, breathing is completely different from respiration. Okay. So in breathing, we completely talk about the inhalation and exhalation of gases. Wherein it comes to the point of respiration, we always talk about the breakdown of oxygen. Clear artha agtidalla? Respiration is completely different from the breathing. Okay? Yes. So as they're asking about the breathing, we are purely talking about the inhalation and exhalation. Hegagatte? Inhalation andre enu? Taking the air inside. See, if you look at inhalation, it is just the process of taking the air inside the body of an organism. Correct. So what actually happens here? So during this process, during the process of inhalation, that means when you take the air inside, your ribs move forward. Just take the air inside now. When you inhale the air, look at the the changes that is taking place in your body. Yenagatte? The ribs move forward. They move forward, and also they move upward. Okay. So whenever your ribs is moving forward, whenever your ribs is moving upward, definitely the diaphragm will contract to form the dome-shaped structure. That means, ಏನು ಹಾಗಂದ್ರೆ, see, ನೋಡಿ observe ಮಾಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ structure ಬರೀತಾ ಇದೀನಿ. So this is your lungs, right? This is your lungs. So now when you take the oxygen inside, what happened? This portion of your lungs will go up. Okay. So whenever this is going up, what happened? This diaphragm which is present here will go in the opposite direction. Understand? See, it is very simple trick. What you have to understand here is, whenever you take the air inside, the lungs go, toward the upper direction. That is for the upward direction, wherein the diaphragm go towards the downward direction. It's an opposite reaction. Understand? So clear artha madkoli what is actually happening when you respire. So when you respire, this is what happens, and as a result of this, what happens is, it increases the volume of thoracic cavity. This is the thoracic cavity, the entire the respiratory system where we looking at this concept is, this is called as thoracic. This area is called as thoracic cavity. So this thoracic cavity will, increases the volume and reduces the pressure in the lungs. Lungs alli enagutte, pressure kadime agutte. As a result of it, enagutte, air moves the lungs. Very simple. Okay, what is happening in inhalation? As we take air in, the ribs move forward and also upward. The diaphragm gets contracted to form the dome-shaped structure. And also what is happening, there increases the volume. The volume of thoracic cavity increases, and also pressure of the lungs decreases. Clear? So this is all about the inhalation. So when we talk about exhalation, that means releasing the air outside. What kind of air we release? We release carbon dioxide. Correct? So this is just opposite to inhalation agutte. So exhalation alli enagutte, it is again the process of giving the air outside the body. In this process, actually, see, we observe that the ribs is going backward. See, I'm just relaxing now. After breathing, I'm relaxing. When I relax, what happened? The ribs, which is present in your lungs, they go backward, and also they go downward. As a result of it, what happened? Now the diaphragm relaxes. So now what happened? Previously, the diaphragm went downward. Now what happened? It goes backward. In this direction, it moved. Okay. So this reduces again the volume of thoracic cavity and increases the pressure of lungs. Previously, the lungs pressure got decreased. Now it is getting increased. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಲಂಗ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏರ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಏರ್ ಮೂವ್ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಲಂಗ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಎಸ್. So yes, I already wished Virat you have joined to the class very lately. Okay, wishing you many more happy returns of the day. God bless you. Fine. Yes. So I'm discussing about the questions which has been asked in board examination all these years. Okay. Yes. Let's go for next question. I think you clearly understood what is meant by breathing. So let us go for next question. The next question is, okay, explain the strategy of transportation of water to the highest points of plant body by the xylem tissue. So ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ, ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ. ಬಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಕೇಳೋ ರೀತಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಶುಡ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಯು ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್, ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ಲಿ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ xylem. xylem ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು. ನಿನ್ನೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿದೀನಿ. ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ರೂಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನಲ್ ಪುಲ್. These are the two important concepts that we have to write when it comes to the transportation of water. Okay, so ಏನು actually ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, the plants they use actually the different strategies. They use different strategies to for the transportation of water. So as they're using the different strategies, so what happened, the water from the xylem roots, that means from the roots, it will get transported to different parts of the plant body. Correct. So ಇದು ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟೂ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ಎ ರೋಲ್. ಒಂದು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನಲ್ ಪುಲ್, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನಲ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ರೂಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್. ಸೊ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮಿನರಲ್ಸ್ ಕಾಸಸ್ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಬೈ ದೀಸ್ ಟು ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ರೂಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ಮೇಜರ್ಲಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದ ನೈಟ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನಲ್ ಪುಲ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್ ಮೇಜರ್ಲಿ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಡೇ ಟೈಮ್. ಸಿ, in the root pressure, the positive ions created by the movement of water where from the roots to the soil, for the upward movement of water, okay, what happened, results in the root pressure. As a result of it, what happened, the water from the roots, ನಿಮಗೆ ನೆನ್ನೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ನಾನು, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. The roots take up the ions present in the soil. So as a result of it, what happened, the concentration of ions varies in the roots and also in the soil. The concentration vary ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, it help in sucking the water from the soil by the roots. Roots ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ವಾಟರ್ ನ ಸಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ರೂಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ರೂಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, the water will upward direction. So this is what we talk in the root pressure. When I talk about a transpirational pull, transpirational pull is all about transpiration, students. Transpirational ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, see, the water which is pulled by the leaves. So leaves ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, leaves ಅಲ್ಲಿ that is exchange of gases ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, evaporation of water ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. As a result of it ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, transpiration ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. This is loss of water is called as transpiration. So as a result of transpiration, transpirational pull is caused during the daytime because this should happen only in the presence of sunlight. So transpiration of pull of water ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, it result in the tension is created in the transpiration in the aerial parts of plant. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಈಗ ಅಪ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು, ವಾಟರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ರೀಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಏರಿಯಾ. Okay, that is the reason what happened, the tension is created inside the transpirational by the transpirational pull in the plants. So that ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, so the water from different parts of the plant body which is getting transpirated will be replaced by the transpirational pull. So the major driving force ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, the major driving force is the movement of water will take place in the upward direction during the daytime by the transpirational pull. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನಲ್ ಪುಲ್ ಇಂದ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ವಾಟರ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಆ ಏರಿಯಾಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ವಾಟರ್ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. 2019 ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿರುವಂತ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇದು. So let's go for the next question. Next question ಬಂದು, how is the function of arteries, veins and capillaries are interrelated to each other ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಆರ್ಟರೀಸ್ ಏನ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, veins ಏನ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, capillaries ಏನ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. This one already I have explained during my previous class. Okay, See, capillaries are the thinnest blood vessels in your body. You must know that. See, every capillaries are in contact with both arteries and veins. Okay. So capillaries are connected to both arteries and veins. So arteries, what do? They deliver the oxygen-rich blood to capillaries where actual exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place. That means the heart in the baruvanta oxygen-rich blood enagutte arteries mukhantara barutte. So these arteries are in contact with the thinnest one cell sized thin ಆಯ್ತಾ ಇದು ಈ capillaries ಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ capillaries ಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಈಗ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್. ಸೆಲ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಟೇಕ್ ಇನ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಗಿವ್ ಔಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್. ಸೊ capillaries ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಗೇನ್ these carbon dioxide get transported to the veins present in the body. So this is how the arteries, the capillaries and the veins are interrelated. Here, very important because the capillaries are the thinnest blood vessels. So the capillaries, what happens? They deliver the waste-rich blood. To which part? To the veins. Okay, to the veins. Just now I have explained. Okay, and these veins, they carry the deoxygenated blood or so-called the carbon dioxide-rich blood to different parts of the human, from the different parts of the human body back to the heart. Okay, ಬೇರೆ parts ಇಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ heart ಗೆ carry ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Why? Because heart will again send this deoxygenated blood to the lungs for the oxygenation. That's simple. Clear ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? I hope you all are able to follow the question answers that I'm explaining with respect to examination point of view. So whether you guys, are you able to understand? Are you all able to follow this, children? Okay, fine. So let's move for the next question then. The next question they have asked is, ನೋಡಿ ಈಗ ನಾನು ಏನೇನೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ, ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಬರಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಾಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿದೀನಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಈಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ವೆಂಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಥಿಕ್ ವಾಲ್ಸ್. ನಿನ್ನೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಸಿ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ವೆಂಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ದ ಲೋಯರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಥಿಕ್ ವಾಲ್ಸ್. ಯಾಕೆ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ವಿಚ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ atrium will now go for the different parts. Oxygenated blood will go for the aorta, deoxygenated blood will go for pulmonary artery. So here it is very important to know that one thing is the blood which is pumped by the heart will be in the high pressure. The blood which is pumped by the heart will be in the high pressure. Okay, so when it is going upward, what happens? First and foremost thing ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ventricles should prevent the backflow of blood. ಈಗ ಏನ್ ಮೇಲಿಂದ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಚೇಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ, ಏಟ್ರಿಯಂ ಇಂದ, ಇದು ಮತ್ತೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಏಟ್ರಿಯಂ ಹೋಗಬಾರ್ದು. ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಅದರ್ ರೀಜನ್ಸ್. So to prevent the backflow of blood, what happened? The ventricles of the human heart have thick walls. Very important reason. And also what happened? The blood will be under high pressure. ಈ ಎರಡು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನೀವು ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. Next ಬಂದು, it is necessary to separate the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in the mammals and birds. ಯಾಕೆ? The mammals and birds, okay, mammals and birds ಎರಡು ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, they have high energy needs. Both the mammals and also the birds have the high energy needs. So high energy needs, then they need more oxygen, correct? So for separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, it allows the highly efficient supply of oxygen. 3 points ಬರಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ನೆನೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸಿದೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಓಕೆ, ಫಾರ್ ದ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಹೈ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ನೀಡ್ಸ್. ಇದರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ದೋಸ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಂಟ್ಲಿ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ದೇರ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್. It's very important to. So 2022 ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದಂತ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇದು. Okay, yes. So if you are asking question, ma'am, can you explain it once again? Which question I have to explain? Which question? Related to oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, or which question you want me to explain? Do mention it, okay? So until I'll be explaining the next question. The next question is, which are the factors essential for the photosynthesis? Mention the events occur during the photosynthesis process and represent it by the balanced chemical equation ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ 2022 ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. The events occur during the photosynthesis. ನಾನು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನೋ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ 3 to 4 ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ 5 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದು. ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 5 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಈವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್, ಯಾವ್ದಾವ್ದು ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್, ವಾಟರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸನ್ಲೈಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಈವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರೆಯೋಕೆ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈವೆಂಟ್ ಬರೆಯೋಕೆ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ಬರೆಯೋಕೆ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ದಟ್ when you are writing this arrow mark, it is mandatory that you have to mention the chlorophyll and sunlight in this. I mean, that means upon this arrow mark. Okay, so only that you get 5 marks, because in the absence of sunlight, it is not possible for the plants to undergo the photosynthesis process. So that is very importantly you have to make it sure. So that question was very important. Previously ನಾನು explain ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಿಮಗೆ. So I'm not going to repeatedly explain the same concept. So that concept is very important with respect to examination point of view. So again, how is the function of arteries, veins and capillaries? ನೋಡಿ ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೂಡ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಈಗ ನಾನು 2020 or 22 ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ನೋಡಿ, ಹೌ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಟರೀಸ್, ವೇನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕೆಪಿಲರೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ 2020 ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 2022 ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಂಟರ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ 22 ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಆರ್ಟರೀಸ್, ವೇನ್ಸ್, ಕೆಪಿಲರೀಸ್ ಹೇಗೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್. ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಬಹಳನೇ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಮಸ್ಟ್ ನೋ ದ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಟರೀಸ್, ವೇನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕೆಪಿಲರೀಸ್. ಓನ್ಲಿ ದೆನ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಎಸ್, ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಆರ್ಟರೀಸ್, ವೇನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕೆಪಿಲರೀಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮರೀದೆ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಯು ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ Varsha, please mention at least the question, okay? Because it is like, no, I am teaching here, so ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೂ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟೈಮ್ ಡಿಲೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಯಾವ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ದಟ್. ಫೈನ್. ಸೊ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಸ್ ಡ್ರಾ ಎ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಶೋಯಿಂಗ್ ದ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲೇಬಲ್ ದ ಯುರೇಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. See, many students will ignore learning the excretory system. Do learn excretory system also. They can ask the question based on the excretory system, or they can also ask you to write the diagram of excretory system. Okay, must know it's a very simple diagram. So an excretory system consists of the pair of kidneys and also pair of ureters, and these ureters are connected to the urinary bladder. Connected to the urinary bladder, and urinary bladder is the place where what happened? The urine is getting stored. Urine ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, urinary bladder ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So how long it is stored? It is stored until the pressure is created. So once the pressure is created, what happened? From the urinary bladder, urine get excreted out through urethra. So diagram kalpodi. Okay, so these are the two kidneys. These are the two kidneys. We call them as pair of kidneys, and these are the ureters. They are called as ureters. They transport the nitrogenous waste material, so-called urine, and that is urea and uric acid. And this is urinary bladder. This urinary bladder, which consists of the secreted urine, and the last part is the urethra. This is called as urethra. So in previous class also I have explained about this. Okay, it's very important. Do learn this, children. Please learn this concept with respect to examination point of view. Let's go for next question. The next question is in 2022 supplementary examination they have asked this question. So you have to know this. Okay, 2022 supplementary exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Explain the stages of double circulation. ನಾನು double circulation ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. So double circulation ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? The blood enters to heart twice to complete one cycle. So this is what we call it as double circulation. But ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ 3 marks ಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So 3 marks ಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ what you have to write is you have to write about everything. That means from the mechanism of human heart till the double circulation you are going to write. Okay, so ಅದನ್ನ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ double circulation ಬಗ್ಗೆ. So ನೀವು ಟೆಲಿಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಗೆ. ನಾನು ರೈಟ್ ಆರ್ ರಾಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಎಸ್. Mention the events occurred during the photosynthesis. Again 2022 supplementary exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Okay, 2022 board supplementary exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So frequently, this is the 4th time I'm repeating this question in the same video, because 4 times they have asked in the examination. Okay, it's very important question. So for today's class, these are the questions which I'm going to discuss, children. So these are the questions which I have completed. So and ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಂಥ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೇಳಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಒಂದು ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಆರ್ಟರೀಸ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆರ್ಟರೀಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಲರೀಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವೇನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ವೇನ್ಸ್ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. And they've also asked a question about the double circulation. Yes, double circulation related agi frequent question kelidare. Events occur during the photosynthesis. Frequent agi tumba frequent agi kelirotanta question idu. Okay, so life process ge nimge 5 marks allot ಮಾಡಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಈ 5 marks ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 3 marks ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲಾಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ 2 marks ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ it will be allotted for these kind of questions. Okay, and excretory system kuda important ide this year. Excretory system diagram is important, and formation of urine concept is important, and how do plants excrete is also important. So ella concept nu kuda with respect to examination point of view to learn. Okay, so this whatever the file I'm discussing in today's class, I will share with you. Nimge share ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನ. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಇದೆ, ನೀವು ಕೂಡ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ. ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿಸ್ I will also share few extra questions from today in the Telegram group. So do answer for those extra questions. So definitely it will give more confidence for you to solve the questions and in the examination. Exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ questions na solve ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, not only these questions, along with this some extra questions also will be sent to you. Understand? Yes. Telegram link ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. So those are joined the class as a new student, please check out my description box below. The Telegram link is given in the description box below. You can click on that and you can join to the Telegram group to receive all the updates which is related to the public examination. Okay, so that's all for today's class, my dear students. I'm ending up today's class 20 minutes early only, and I have also started class today lately. I'm sorry for that. So I think by the time I started the class it was 5:50. Usually I start the class at 5:30. So today I have started the class at 5:50. And finally, I just wanted to solve the doubt of Varsha. He was asking the question. Please at least mention some points about that question. Yavudಕ್ಕೆ related ಆಗಿ question ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? Related to which concept you are asking question? At least you mention that so that I can clarify your doubt. Yes, physics related videos also I'll start uploading. Okay, I'll start uploading the physics related videos also. So I'm waiting for you, Varsha. If you just drop down that which is that question, I can repeat that question and I can end a session. So those who have not subscribed to my channel, do subscribe the channel and also share the videos with your friends also. And do expect some kind of important questions from my channel. Definitely last year most of the students scored 98, 99 and few students scored full marks in the science examination. It's all that the classes that I'm teaching is the one way which is helping you to prepare for the examination, and the other way you also have to put the effort. Okay, you must also practice. Only then what happens, it is easy for you to get the full marks. So tomorrow's lesson you're asking, actually not tomorrow, today afternoon I'll be teaching the next lesson. So I've already discussed in the Telegram group related to the timetable. So according to the timetable, I just told you that actually after completing the life process lesson, I'll be starting the control and coordination, I think. Just let me check out, yeah, because I have sent a timetable in the Telegram group. Yes, control and coordination I'll be starting. After completing the control and coordination, I'll be starting with the metals and non-metals lesson. Okay. So how is transpiration help in the plants? So today afternoon at 2 p.m. I'll be starting the class. Today afternoon at 2 p.m. I'll be starting the class. Okay. Everybody can wait for that time. So definitely at 2 p.m. I'll be starting the class. So today I'll start control and coordination class. Okay. Or we can also solve a question paper. What do you need? You want me to solve the question paper, or you want me to explain the control and coordination lesson? Waiting for the reply. So both is not possible at a time. Okay, fine. Let's solve a question paper in the today's afternoon session. So tomorrow morning 5:30 you will be having the control and coordination live session. Okay. So thank you so much for being in live till now, children. Have a nice day. Study well. Whatever things are being happening, let it happen. So please, you have to revise all the concepts which have been taught in all these sessions. They are very, very important with respect to examination point of view. So from today, I will be adding few questions in the Telegram group. So do solve the question papers and the questions that I've been sending in the Telegram group. And if you find any difficulties related to any question or concept, you can ask me over there. Okay. So thank you so much. I'll be ending the live class. Okay.